Sophia, no! My daughter! What's going on, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror. I am Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. Doll Graveyard was released in 2005. Now, I am not 100% sure if this is in the Puppet Master universe, but I'm going to take a guess and say that it probably is, at least somewhere, whether it's unofficial or whatever. It really feels like a Puppet Master movie, so I'm going to say it's in the realm of that universe. This is directed and written, I believe, by Charles Brand. So produced and directed, so not written, but produced and directed by Charles Brand. And this is a very fun movie. This, honestly, is literally the length of an episode of a series these days, I'm telling you. With the opening credits and then the ending credits, this is an hour. No joke. I mean, the whole thing is an hour and 11 minutes, but if you take away the credits, all of the credits, it's literally an hour long. It might be 59 minutes even. Like, it's crazy, crazy short. It starts off in 1911 in Los Angeles, where this dad is basically abusive to his daughter. His daughter is playing with some dolls, and she accidentally breaks a vase, and then he starts yelling at her and cursing her out for breaking the vase and playing with dolls because he considers that immature, and he's a very strict, asshole-ish kind of father. And one of her dolls is like a samurai, and then he starts making fun of samurai because he calls them hobos with swords. Because, samurais are clearly pussies. We all know that. Yeah, samurais can kick the ass of a lot of people, but that's a different video. So yeah, he makes her bury the dolls in the backyard, and she's crying while she's burying them, and then she falls in the pit, and I guess she dies. I don't she falls in the pit, and I don't know. Maybe she just gets knocked out, but I don't know if the film was implying that she was dead. I don't see how you die. The pit was like 3 feet high max. And, I mean, I'm sure you can knock yourself out by falling in there, but dying, unless she landed the wrong way or something. It didn't look like it. Just looked like she took a little bit of a tumble and landed on her back or side, and then all of a sudden she's dead. But the father's like, no! And then he just starts burying her. So, hey, maybe she just knocked herself out, and he just I don't want a daughter anymore, let's just get rid of her. It was friggin' weird. And then it goes to 2005, present day of the movie, and there's this father who is played by the same actor who played the 1911 father, and he has a daughter and a son. His son is named Guy, and his daughter is named Dee Dee, and this father is going out on a date, and he has the two kids, he asks the two kids to clean the house, which the guy does, but Dee Dee is kind of being lazy and trying to get him to do it, and then they threaten to bust each other's secrets, and she threatens to tell the dad about his porn magazine collection, and he threatens to tell the dad about her having a crush on some guy who I think is older than her, because he's I'll tell dad everything you write in your diary about this guy, which I'm pretty sure is illegal in over 40 states. So I'm guessing she's underage and he's over 18. Dee Dee decides to have a party while Dad's gone, and she invites two of her friends, Terry, yeah, and Olivia. So two girls, Terry and Olivia. Terry is hitting hard on Guy, and Guy looks like he's 5 years younger than Terry. I don't know the age difference, but Jesus, this girl is mad crushing on Guy, and she's all into like comic books and superheroes, and she's all into everything that he's into, and she starts like nerding out with him. She just starts like crushing on this kid so hard, and he's having all of it, of course, because she is a very pretty girl. But it's just, I'm like, yeah, okay, a girl that age would be hitting on a kid that looks that age, and all over him and like kissing him on the cheek and everything. It was funny. Olivia is hilariously promiscuous and just is dying to get laid. There's these two guys that show up. Their names are Tom and Rich, and literally they just show up uninvited. They break in. They don't even knock. They just show up in the house. So clearly they either came in through a window or came in through the door unnoticed. I don't know. But yeah, they just come in uninvited. They take Guy up to his room. They tie him up because that's cool. And then they go party with the girls, and the girls are like, "What are you doing here?" And they're like, "Oh, we just came to crash the party." But it's funny. Um, it's Tom that gets stabbed in the cock with a this one of the dolls has a spike on his helmet. He wears a helmet and he has a giant ass spike, and he headbutts the guy's crotch, and he stabs the guy in the dick, and then he's got blood spraying all over his face. This is a fun movie for the gore, and this is a fun movie for the situations. It's a horror comedy for sure, obviously, because you're dealing with killer dolls, but the dolls, obviously, I got a little bit ahead of myself. They dig themselves up during a storm, uh, being buried in the backyard, the same house that the 1911 girl buried the dolls in the backyard. And they come up and then they start attacking these kids. Rich gets a spear in the eye, and then the doll actually takes the eyeball out of his skull, and it's like hanging on the spear. And then he gets his throat slit. So I like how he dies that way. I love how he goes to Olivia, and he's like, "Do you know why I'm on the football team?" And she's like, "'Cause you like football?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, that's one reason. But also because, you see, it's a challenge. The point of it is to be challenged and want to defeat the opponent. See, he's comparing her to a football game. He's like, if there's no challenge, then there's no point. See, I've taken you from one end of the field to the other. I've plowed you so many times so easily. So there's no point in the game if there's no challenge." And he's just basically ripping her apart for being easy, like an asshole. And then he starts trying to hit on Terry, and he starts to try to be the nice guy, the sensitive guy. He's like, "If you get to know me, I'm actually really sensitive." I'm like, yeah, okay, like she's gonna buy that. And she does buy it for like 2 minutes, but then she, clues in and realizes that he's just clearly full of shit. Oh my gosh, there's this scene where Olivia tricks him because she comes onto him, she starts drinking with him, and then she gets on top of him, and then she's like, she makes him think that she's gonna fuck him when he's drunk, but then she's like, "I'm not your sloppy seconds," and she goes away, and she throws him a cantaloupe, and she's like, "There, fuck that," or something. At least it won't say no. It turns into this kind of American Pie situation where he's wasted, and he's been rejected by two girls, and he looks at the cantaloupe, and for some reason the cantaloupe already has a hole in it, and he looks at it, and you can tell by his facial expressions that he's kind of thinking about it, and then he kind of slides his two fingers into the cantaloupe, and then he just pushes away. He's like, "No, I'm not going to do this shit." Oh my god, I laughed so hard. It reminded me of the pie in the first American Pie, except with a cantaloupe. And man, that was funny. That was hilarious. One of the puppets or dolls, whatever you want to call them, has a working gun, a working toy gun, but it's like this big. So even if it works and he starts shooting everybody with it, I don't see how the gun would have much effect. Like it would just be like little flicks on people because it's a tiny ass toy gun. So it works and there's smoke coming out of it and everything, but I can't see that doing too much damage unless he shoots somebody in like the eyeball or something like that. Other than that, I can't see that gun doing a whole lot. Olivia gets her face or cheek bit off by one of the dolls. There's one thing I wasn't the biggest fan of is they go into like a possession theme and plot. I wish it just stuck to the dolls being possessed. I didn't really like care for Guy being possessed a whole lot, and it took me out of the movie once that started to happen. But he like Sophia's possessing Guy's body, and it's still like he still has Guy's voice and everything, and he's acting like Guy. He's just like, there is no Guy. I'm Sophia, and he you can't. It doesn't seem like Sophia's in his body. It just seems like Guy is acting like Guy and calling himself Sophia. So it gets weird that way. And then the dad comes home eventually, and the dad starts acting like the dad was in the beginning, the 1911 dad. So he starts to have his British accent again, and he starts to harp on Guy the way the dad at the beginning was harping on Sophia, and Sophia's possessing Guy, so it turns into that whole beginning situation, and it gets silly with the whole possession thing of the humans. I think, like I said, the doll possession is cool, but the human possession just got a little bit too silly, and it ends rather quickly where Guy turns into Guy again, and then he quickly takes the dolls back to the backyard, and they all start burying them up, and then the movie ends. The bodies aren't taken care of. The house has two dead guys, and I don't know if I forget if Olivia died or not, but definitely has some bodies in there, and they're not explained or accounted for. They just Guy buries the dolls, and then Sophia shows up as a ghost with like messed up hair and crazy like rotting face, and then credits roll, and then they start to do that thing where they introduce the actor's name while showing a clip of the actors, like during the film at some point. Under like it'll show a clip of the actor in the film, and then it'll show the title card underneath the actor. So like I said, I mean, you cut the credits out, and literally this film is an hour or less. It's a very fucking short film. There are TV episodes in series these days that are longer than this friggin' movie. So yeah, but it's a lot of fun, man. It's a fun killer puppet or killer doll film, and there's a lot of laughs to be had in this, and a lot of good kills with a lot of good gore. I still give it 1.5 because of the quality and my enjoyment, but this is a very, very high 1.5. It's almost a 2. It's almost a 2, but 1.5 out of 5 is my final score. It'd probably be like 33 out of 100 in my personal score. Why out of 100? Because I hate decimals, and it's fun to be had. I had a good time with it. I don't have too many complaints about Doll Graveyard, to be honest. It's dumb. It's a B movie. It's quite silly and ludicrous, but it's definitely a good time and a fun time. So, thumbs up for Doll Graveyard. I enjoyed it. It's a keeper, and I'll be watching it again for sure, especially for how short it is. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for that. Check out what's on the channel already, and until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.